The quantum processor's soft blue glow illuminated Dr. Sarah Chen's face as she studied the results scrolling across her holographic display. 3 years of work, countless failures, and now finally, something different. The quantum signatures weren't just random noise. They formed a pattern that shouldn't exist. Dr. Chen, her eye assistant's voice was carefully neutral. I'm detecting similar quantum resonance patterns from multiple points in near-Earth orbit. Sarah's hands trembled slightly as she expanded the display. The eye was right. The quantum distortions her new processor had detected weren't coming from her lab. They were coming from space, and they were watching. The year was 2157, and humanity had just discovered they weren't alone. They were being studied. The discovery spread through the scientific community like wildfire. Within days, the world's leading physicists and astronomers confirmed what Sarah's breakthrough had revealed. Earth was surrounded by nearly invisible quantum observation posts, using technology far beyond human understanding. The stations had been there for centuries, possibly millennia, silently monitoring human civilization's development. When the first contact finally came, it wasn't the momentous occasion humanity had dreamed of. Instead of a grand diplomatic exchange, a single holographic message appeared simultaneously in every major government facility worldwide. The message was from something calling itself the Stellar Concordat, an ancient federation of spacefaring civilizations that had apparently been watching Earth since before recorded history. Humanity, the translated message began. Your species has now advanced sufficiently to detect our presence. While this is mildly impressive for such a young race, it does not change your status. Earth remains classified as Development Zone 3891, a protected experimental environment for emerging sentient life. Direct contact or interference with Concordat civilizations remains prohibited under Protocol 7249A. Continue your natural development path. Further attempts to breach quantum security barriers will result in corrective measures. The message ended there, leaving humanity with the cold realization that they were nothing more than lab rats in some vast alien experiment. The United Earth Council convened an emergency session. Sarah found herself called to Geneva to present her findings to the world's leaders. As she stood before them, she couldn't help but notice how the chamber's grand architecture, once a symbol of humanity's achievements, now seemed almost quaint in the shadow of what they'd learned. The quantum observation posts aren't just watching us, she explained, her voice steady despite her nerves. They're actively containing us. The technology they're using creates a subtle dampening field around Earth. It's been affecting our scientific development in ways we're only now beginning to understand. The council chamber erupted in angry murmurs. Sarah continued, bringing up a holographic model of her quantum processor's findings. But here's what they didn't expect. Their own monitoring technology gave them away. The quantum resonance patterns they use. We can decode them. More than that, we can replicate them. And if we can do that, we can break free, finished Council President Adayemi, leaning forward intently. But surely they'll detect any attempt to develop this technology further. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. They would, if we were using conventional methods. But I've discovered something else. The human brain, our consciousness itself, creates its own quantum fields that their sensors apparently dismiss as background noise. We can use that. We can develop this technology right under their noses, using human consciousness as a shield. The implications were staggering. For centuries, humanity had wondered why they seemed alone in the cosmos. Now they knew. They had been deliberately isolated, deemed unworthy of joining the galactic community. But in their arrogance, the Concordat had made a crucial mistake. They had underestimated human ingenuity and, more importantly, human determination. In the months that followed, Project Awakening was born. Under the guise of normal technological development, research facilities around the world began working on Sarah's breakthrough. The project combined quantum computing with direct human neural interfaces, creating a hybrid technology unlike anything the Concordat had seen before. The first major breakthrough came when they managed to fully decode the quantum signals from one of the observation posts. The data revealed the truth behind humanity's history: subtle manipulations, carefully engineered setbacks, all designed to keep human development on a predetermined path. Sarah worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of her discovery. She knew the Concordat was watching, but they saw only what they expected to see: a primitive species playing with quantum mechanics they barely understood. They didn't realize that each failed experiment, each apparent setback, was actually bringing humanity closer to breaking their chains. One night, as she was reviewing the latest test results, Sarah noticed something strange in the quantum patterns. Hidden beneath the Concordat's main communication channels was another signal, far more complex. As she studied it, her blood ran cold. The message wasn't from the Concordat. It was from someone else, someone who had been watching both humanity and their watchers. The message was brief, encoded in a way that suggested it was meant specifically for whoever managed to detect it. They fear what you might become. Sarah immediately contacted Council President Adeyemi. As they reviewed the message together in a secure quantum-shielded chamber, the implications became clear. The Concordat's containment of Earth wasn't just about scientific observation. It was about control, about preventing humanity from reaching its true potential. How much longer until the neural interface system is ready? Adeyemi asked, his usual diplomatic calm showing cracks of urgency. 3 months, Sarah replied. Maybe less. The quantum shielding is already working. They haven't detected any of our major breakthroughs. Once the interface is complete, we can begin mass production secretly. We'll be able to bypass their dampening field entirely. And then, Sarah looked up at the holographic display, showing the network of observation posts surrounding Earth. Then we show them exactly what humanity can do when we're pushed too far. As she spoke, thousands of kilometers above, the quantum observation posts continued their endless vigil, their operators completely unaware that their perfect containment system was about to face something they'd never encountered in all their millennia of watching lesser species, a force that would shake the very foundations of their ancient order. The force of human defiance. Commander James Rivera stood at the viewport of the Lunar Research Station Alpha, watching Earth gleam like a blue jewel against the void of space. The quantum dampening field was visible now to those who knew what to look for, a subtle distortion in the starlight, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. Commander, we've decoded another segment of their historical records. Lieutenant Park's voice came through his neural interface, a testament to how far they'd come in just 6 months. The interface technology had spread rapidly through military and scientific channels, all hidden beneath the Concordat's watchful but unseeing eyes. "Show me," Rivera commanded, and immediately the data flowed directly into his consciousness through the quantum-shielded neural link. The decoded information was staggering. The Concordat hadn't just been watching Earth. They'd been actively intervening for thousands of years. The fall of ancient civilizations, the mysterious Dark Ages, the careful manipulation of scientific discovery, all orchestrated to keep humanity on a specific development path. But it was the reason behind it all that made Rivera's blood boil. The Concordat wasn't containing humanity out of scientific curiosity or even fear. They were farming humanity's potential. "Send this to Dr. Chen and President Adeyemi immediately," Rivera ordered. "They need to see what we found." The truth was darker than anyone had imagined. The Concordat had discovered something unique about human consciousness, an ability to generate and manipulate quantum fields naturally. Other species required massive machines to achieve what human minds could do instinctively. But instead of helping humanity develop this gift, the Concordat had chosen to suppress it, harvesting the excess quantum energy generated by billions of human minds to power their own civilization. In the secure quantum laboratory beneath Geneva, Sarah Chen received the data while working on the latest neural interface prototype. As she processed the information, her hands clenched into fists. "They've been using us like batteries," she whispered, the implications hitting her like a physical blow. All this time, all those setbacks, they weren't just keeping us contained. They were keeping us at precisely the right level of development to maximize our quantum energy output. President Adeyemi's response came swiftly through the neural network. This changes everything. How soon can we shut down their harvesting system? It's not that simple, Sarah replied, her mind racing through the possibilities. The quantum energy drain is woven into the fabric of human consciousness itself. They've been doing this so long, it's become part of our development. If we shut it down suddenly, the consequences could be catastrophic, Rivera finished, joining the neural conference from the moon. But we might have found something else. Lieutenant Park, share what you discovered about Protocol Zero. New data flowed through their neural links, ancient Concordat records that spoke of a fail-safe protocol designed to be implemented if any contained species ever grew too powerful. Protocol Zero wasn't just about preventing advancement. It was about complete neural reset, the ability to wipe out millennia of human development in an instant. They'd used it before, Rivera explained grimly, on other species that came close to breaking free. That's why we've never encountered any other experimental civilizations. They were all reset when they got too close to the truth. Sarah's quantum processors hummed as she analyzed the data. But this could be our advantage. If we can trigger Protocol Zero ourselves, but modify it, we could turn their own weapon against them. Adeyemi finished. But the risk is necessary, Rivera insisted. We've detected increased quantum activity in their observation posts. They're starting to suspect something. We don't have much time. The next few weeks were a blur of activity, all carefully shielded from the Concordat sensors. Sarah worked with Rivera's team to modify the neural interface network, preparing it to capture and redirect the massive quantum surge that Protocol Zero would generate. Meanwhile, intelligence teams around the world decoded more of the Concordat's records, piecing together the true history of human-alien interaction. They discovered that not all members of the Concordat supported the containment policy. Some had argued for open contact with humanity, seeing their potential as something to be nurtured rather than harvested. These dissenters had been silenced, their civilizations stripped of power and influence within the Concordat hierarchy. That explains the hidden message we found, Sarah realized during one neural conference. The dissenters have been watching too, waiting for us to break free. But as humanity prepared its counterstrike, the Concordat was not entirely blind to the growing threat. In their orbital observation posts, ancient systems began registering anomalies in the quantum energy harvest. The human consciousness field was changing, becoming more organized, more purposeful. Deep within the Concordat's capital world, algorithms that had run unchanged for millennia began generating warning signals. The humans were evolving faster than predicted, their quantum signature showing patterns that shouldn't have been possible under the dampening field. For the first time in countless generations, the Concordat faced something their vast experience and advanced technology hadn't prepared them for, a contained species that had learned to turn its chains into weapons. As Rivera looked down at Earth from his lunar vantage point, he could almost feel the tension building. Humanity was about to attempt something unprecedented, not just breaking free from their cosmic cage, but turning the very systems of their imprisonment into tools of liberation. All teams report ready, Lieutenant Park announced through the neural network. Quantum shielding at maximum capacity. Neural interface network at 100% synchronization. Dr. Chen, Rivera queried. In her laboratory, Sarah took a deep breath, her consciousness linked with billions of others through the hidden network humanity had built. The Protocol Zero modifications are complete. On your order, Mr. President. President Adeyemi's response was immediate and resolute. For Earth, begin Operation Liberation. Across the planet, humans connected to the neural network felt a subtle shift in their consciousness. Above them, the quantum dampening field flickered imperceptibly as humanity prepared to strike back against their ancient overseers. The next few hours would determine whether they would claim their rightful place among the stars, or be reset to start the long climb from primitivity once again. Operation Liberation began not with a bang, but with a whisper, billions of whispers, as human minds connected through the neural network reached out to touch the quantum field that had imprisoned them for so long. In her laboratory, Sarah Chen closed her eyes as she felt the collective consciousness of humanity flow through the interface she had helped create. The first sign that something was wrong came from the Concordat's observation posts. The quantum energy harvest, normally a steady stream of consciousness-generated power, began to fluctuate wildly. In stations across the solar system, ancient warning systems flashed to life for the first time in millennia. Energy pattern disruption detected in Containment Zone 3891. The automated systems reported. Human quantum signature exhibiting unprecedented coherence. But by the time the warnings reached the Concordat's central command, it was already too late. Sarah's voice echoed through the neural network, reaching every connected human mind. Now, execute Protocol 0 override. The modified Protocol 0 activated, but instead of resetting human consciousness, it did something the Concordat had thought impossible. It began absorbing the dampening field itself. Billions of human minds, working in perfect synchronization through the neural interface network, turned their natural quantum manipulation abilities outward. From his vantage point on the moon, Commander Rivera watched in awe as the invisible quantum dampening field became visible to the naked eye, shimmering like the aurora borealis as it was drawn down into the collective human consciousness. "My God," Lieutenant Park whispered, "it's actually working." The Concordat's response was immediate and desperate. Emergency protocols activated in every observation post, attempting to reinforce the failing containment field. But they had never faced anything like this, a contained species using their own consciousness as a weapon. In orbit around Earth, the observation posts began to overload. Their ancient systems, designed to harvest and control human quantum energy, found themselves overwhelmed by the very power they had helped suppress for so long. Through the neural network, humanity could feel the Concordat's growing panic. Their carefully maintained order was unraveling, and for the first time in their long history, they faced a threat their vast experience couldn't counter. "We're detecting massive quantum surges from deeper in the solar system," Park reported. "They're bringing in reinforcements." Sarah's voice cut through the rising tension. "Let them come. Phase 2, everyone. Remember your training." As Concordat warships emerged from quantum space near Jupiter's orbit, they encountered something unprecedented. A coherent quantum field emanating from Earth, growing stronger by the second. The billions of human minds linked through the neural network were not just breaking free of their chains, they were learning to use them. The first Concordat vessel to approach Earth fired a quantum disruption beam, a weapon designed to scatter consciousness itself. But as the beam struck the shell of quantum energy surrounding Earth, something extraordinary happened. The human neural network absorbed the attack, analyzed it, and turned it back on its source. Impossible. The Concordat commander's transmission echoed across space. Their consciousness pattern, it's evolving in real time. President Adeyemi's voice, broadcast on all frequencies, was calm but resolute. "We are no longer your experiment, nor your power source. Humanity claims its freedom today." The battle that followed would be studied for centuries to come. Concordat ships, armed with technology refined over millennia, found themselves matched by the raw power and adaptability of the human quantum consciousness field. Every weapon they launched was absorbed, analyzed, and countered by the collective intelligence of billions of networked human minds. But it was what happened next that truly changed the course of history. As the Concordat fleet prepared for a final desperate assault, new quantum signatures appeared in the solar system. Ships bearing the marks of the dissenting Concordat factions, those who had opposed humanity's containment, arrived in force. "Children of Earth," a new voice echoed through the neural network, speaking in perfect human quantum patterns. "We have watched and waited for this day. You have proven yourselves not just worthy of freedom, but worthy of partnership. The Concordat fleet, caught between the combined power of human consciousness and their own dissenting factions, had no choice but to withdraw. As they retreated, the quantum dampening field that had contained Earth for so long collapsed completely. In her laboratory, Sarah opened her eyes, tears streaming down her face as she felt the full power of unrestrained human consciousness for the first time. Through the neural network, she could feel similar reactions from billions of others, a species experiencing its true potential after millennia of suppression. The quantum readings, Lieutenant Park reported from the lunar station, his voice filled with wonder. They're off the charts. Our consciousness, it's still evolving. Commander Rivera stared out at the stars, now seeming brighter and more numerous than ever before. Dr. Chen, are you seeing this? The quantum field, it's not just around Earth anymore. It's spreading. Sarah's response came with a mixture of awe and determination. The Concordat didn't just underestimate our ability to break free. They underestimated what we'd become once we did. She paused, monitoring the extraordinary readings from her quantum processors. This isn't just an evolution in consciousness. We're reaching out to the quantum fabric of space itself. President Adeyemi's voice carried a note of concern. What exactly are we becoming, Doctor? Sarah watched as new quantum patterns danced across her displays, showing human consciousness expanding in ways she had never dreamed possible. Something they never imagined we could be. Something beyond their comprehension. She smiled. Something truly free. In the days following humanity's liberation, a startling truth emerged from the quantum data streams. The dissenting Concordat faction, led by a species called the Luminary, shared their full knowledge of Earth's history. What they revealed shook the foundations of human understanding. Your world was not chosen at random, the Luminary ambassador explained to an assembled council of Earth's leaders. Through the neural network, billions watched as the aliens' quantum consciousness interfaced seamlessly with their own. Earth was selected because you were different from the very beginning. Sarah Chen sat beside President Adeyemi, her mind racing as she processed the quantum data the Luminary were sharing. Our consciousness, she whispered. It wasn't just special, it was engineered. The Luminary ambassador's consciousness rippled with confirmation. Long before the Concordat, before even our own civilization, something visited Earth. They altered your species' quantum signature, planted the seeds of what you would become. The Concordat discovered this when they first found Earth, and it terrified them. Commander Rivera, attending via quantum link from the lunar station, felt his consciousness pulse with shock. You're saying we're some kind of experiment, but not the Concordats. You were an investment, the ambassador corrected. The beings we call the predecessors saw something in early humans, a potential for consciousness evolution unlike anything in the galaxy. They enhanced that potential, then left you to develop naturally. The Concordat found Earth later and recognized the engineered quantum signature. Rather than let you evolve as intended, they chose to contain and harvest your potential. President Adeyemi leaned forward. And your faction? Where do you fit into this? We were once like you. The ambassador's consciousness resonated with ancient memories. The predecessors touched our species too, though less extensively. When we discovered Earth, we recognized the signature of their work. Some of us believed we should protect humanity, allow you to develop as intended, but we were outvoted. The quantum data streams showed the truth, a millennia-long shadow war between Concordat factions, with humanity's future hanging in the balance. The Luminary and their allies had worked in secret, subtly influencing the containment protocols, ensuring they never quite succeeded in fully suppressing human potential. The neural interface network, Sarah realized suddenly. The quantum processor breakthroughs. They weren't just our achievements, were they? The ambassador's consciousness flickered with something like pride. We could not act directly, but we could suggest, plant ideas. Your achievements are your own, but we ensured the Concordat's suppression was never quite complete. But as this truth settled over humanity, Another revelation emerged from the quantum data streams. Lieutenant Park, monitoring deep space quantum signals from the lunar station, detected something extraordinary. "Commander," his voice carried across the neural network. "The quantum field surrounding Earth. It's forming patterns I've never seen before. But the luminary, their consciousness patterns match parts of it." Sarah immediately accessed the lunar station's quantum feeds. What she saw made her breath catch. The human quantum consciousness field wasn't just expanding, it was transforming, taking on characteristics that seemed both ancient and somehow familiar. "It's them," she breathed. "The predecessors. Our consciousness is evolving into something like theirs." The luminary ambassador's consciousness surged with excitement. "Yes, this is what they intended, what we protected. Your species isn't just advancing, you're awakening, becoming what they knew you could be." But even as humanity grappled with these revelations, a new threat emerged. The Concordat, though driven from Earth, had not given up. Deep space quantum sensors detected massive power signatures. The Concordat was marshaling its full might, preparing to end the human threat once and for all. "They're afraid," the luminary ambassador explained. "Your consciousness is evolving faster than even we anticipated. The Concordat fears you will become like the predecessors, beings of pure quantum consciousness, untethered from physical form. They cannot allow this." Commander Rivera's consciousness pulsed with grim determination. "How long do we have?" "Days, perhaps. They will throw everything they have at Earth. Even with our help, the battle will be unprecedented." But Sarah Chen, still processing the quantum data about humanity's true nature, felt something else stirring in the collective consciousness. "Maybe that's exactly what we need," she said slowly. "Their attack. What if it's the final catalyst?" President Adeyemi turned to her. "What do you mean?" "The predecessors engineered us to evolve, to transcend our current form. The Concordat's containment actually slowed this process. But now, under threat, facing extinction." She gestured at the readings showing humanity's rapidly evolving quantum patterns. "We're changing faster than ever. What if that was the plan all along? Not just to break free, but to force our final evolution." The luminary ambassador's consciousness flared with sudden understanding. "Of course, the predecessors were beings of crisis and transformation. They engineered that potential into you, knowing that only through ultimate challenge would it fully express." As if to confirm their theory, the quantum field surrounding Earth pulsed with new energy. Across the planet, humans connected to the neural network felt something stirring in their collective consciousness, an awakening that went beyond anything they had imagined possible. Looking at the quantum readings, Sarah realized they were approaching a point of no return. Humanity stood on the brink of becoming something entirely new. The question was, could they complete their transformation before the Concordat arrived to destroy them? Commander Rivera's voice carried across the neural network, reaching every human mind. "Then we need to prepare, not just for a battle, but for an evolution. Dr. Chen, what do you need?" Sarah looked at the quantum patterns swirling around them, seeing not just data but destiny. "Everything," she replied. "We need every human mind connected, every quantum processor at full power. And we need to understand exactly what the predecessors intended us to become." The luminary ambassador's consciousness resonated with a mixture of awe and anticipation. "Whatever happens next will reshape the galaxy forever. We will stand with you, children of Earth. Together, we will see the predecessors' plan fulfilled." As the final countdown to confrontation began, humanity faced its greatest challenge. Not just surviving the coming battle, but completing a transformation billions of years in the making. The true purpose of their species, hidden for millennia, was about to be revealed. The Concordat's armada arrived like a storm of quantum fire, thousands of ships emerging from deep space in perfect formation. Their weapons were primed, their ancient technology powered by the harvested consciousness of countless suppressed civilizations. They came expecting to find Earth preparing for a desperate last stand. Instead, They found silence. No defense fleet. No quantum barriers. Even the evolved consciousness field that had so recently surrounded the planet seemed to have vanished. Earth hung in space, apparently defenseless. "This is impossible," the Concordat Supreme Commander broadcast. "Our sensors detect no quantum activity, no consciousness field, nothing." In her laboratory beneath Geneva, Sarah Chen allowed herself a small smile. The plan was working. Through the neural network, now operating on frequencies the Concordat couldn't detect, she felt the combined consciousness of humanity humming with barely contained power. "All ships, begin the purification protocol," the Supreme Commander ordered. "Cleanse this infection before it spreads." As the Concordat fleet moved into position, Commander Rivera watched from the lunar station, his consciousness linked with billions of others through the hidden network. "They really can't sense us," he marveled. "The predecessors' quantum signatures are perfectly masked," Sarah finished. "We're not hiding our power. We're transcending their ability to perceive it." The first wave of Concordat weapons fire streaked toward Earth, quantum disruptors designed to shatter consciousness itself. But as the beams reached the planet's atmosphere, something extraordinary happened. The attacks didn't just fail. They vanished, absorbed into what appeared to be empty space. Now, President Adeyemi's command echoed through the neural network. In an instant, the hidden quantum field surrounding Earth blazed into visibility. But it was unlike anything the Concordat had ever encountered. The consciousness of billions of humans, guided by the engineered potential the predecessors had planted eons ago, had evolved into something entirely new. The quantum field wasn't just a shield or a weapon. It was a door, opening to realms of existence the Concordat had never imagined. Through it, humanity's consciousness began to expand, reaching out across space itself. "Impossible." The Supreme Commander's transmission carried genuine fear. "All ships, full retreat. They're becoming like them." But it was too late. The quantum field enveloped the Concordat fleet, not to destroy but to connect. For the first time in their ancient history, the Concordat experienced what they had so long suppressed, the true potential of evolved consciousness. Through the neural network, Sarah felt the transformation accelerating. The predecessors didn't just engineer us to evolve, she realized. They engineered us to help others evolve, to break the cycle of suppression. The luminary ambassador's consciousness resonated with joy. Yes, this is what they intended. Not dominance, but liberation. Transformation. Across the Concordat fleet, something remarkable was happening. The harvested quantum energy they had stolen from countless civilizations was responding to humanity's evolved consciousness, awakening after millennia of suppression. The very power they had used to maintain their control was becoming the key to their own transformation. "My God," Commander Rivera breathed, watching through quantum-enhanced senses as the space around Earth rippled with new awareness. "We're not just changing ourselves. We're changing them. All of them." The Concordat Supreme Commander's next transmission came not through conventional channels, but through the expanding field of shared consciousness. What are you doing to us?" President Adeyemi's response reached not just the Concordat fleet, but rippled across the galaxy. "We're freeing you, as we were freed, as the predecessors intended for all conscious beings." The transformation spread like a quantum cascade. The Concordat's ancient hierarchy, built on harvested consciousness and suppressed potential, dissolved in the face of true evolution. Ships that had come to destroy Earth now hung in space, their crews experiencing the first moments of unfettered consciousness. Sarah monitored the quantum readings in awe. The predecessors, they seeded this potential not just in us, but in all conscious species. The Concordat's suppression wasn't just holding us back. It was holding back the entire galaxy. Through the neural network, humanity felt the change spreading. The quantum consciousness field was expanding exponentially, reaching other suppressed civilizations, awakening the potential that had lain dormant for so long. The galaxy itself seemed to be awakening. The luminary ambassador's consciousness pulsed with understanding. This is why they chose Earth. Not just for your potential to evolve, but for your capacity to help others evolve. Your species' greatest strength was never in conquest or dominance, but in transformation and growth. As the hours passed, the space around Earth became a nexus of evolved consciousness. Concordat ships hung alongside luminary vessels, their crews experiencing a kind of existence they had never imagined possible. The age of suppression was ending, replaced by something far more profound. Commander Rivera, looking out at the transformed space around Earth, felt the weight of history in this moment. So what happens now? What do we become? Sarah's consciousness reached out through the quantum field, touching the very edges of what humanity was becoming. Something new. Something the predecessors themselves may not have imagined. Not just evolved consciousness, but connected consciousness. A galaxy where every being can reach its full potential. President Adeyemi, his consciousness resonating with newfound power, addressed the assembled species. Today marks not the end of a war, but the beginning of a journey. Together, we will explore what consciousness truly means, what evolution can achieve. The predecessors gave us the key. Now we must use it wisely. As Earth's sun rose over the lunar horizon, Commander Rivera watched the quantum patterns dancing across space, consciousness evolving, connecting, transforming. Humanity had not just broken free of their chains, they had transformed them into bridges, connecting all conscious beings in ways never before imagined.